Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Outside The Levees. I'm Jared Serenay, and today I'm going with my buddy Captain Randall Shaw on a late season alligator hunt in the Louisiana marsh. Let's get it started. All right, me and Captain Randall, we are going gator hunting. It's what, the last day of season?
Last day of season, first 60-day season ever.
Wow. Late October, normally gator season ends end of September, but this year they gave gator hunters an extra month to get it done. What was that? Was that because of COVID?
COVID, I think that, and I think because of the population of gators, I'm sure too, they want to get these tags filled, so we're going to see if we can help out.
Yeah, so gator hunting in Louisiana is mostly a commercial endeavor. So guys who hunt them for the hides and the meat, and they sell it, and it becomes a commercial product. But over the last few years, the value of the gator has dropped so low. A lot of commercial hunters have really started to not even hunt, because by the time they have their expenses in and all that, they're not making much money. So participation has dropped, and we think that our wildlife and fisheries is extending the season just to give people a little bit more time, maybe to spread it out a little bit more, so they don't have to do it in such a short amount of time. But Randall here, you do it more recreationally, right?
Recreationally, it's still a commercial aspect, but more guiding, trophy hunting, big gators, stuff like that. For anytime you get to see an industry that opens up from commercial, it brings in the sport guys after that,
Now, one thing you started doing this year, so when I gator hunt, it's really more like trapping. You set out a line with a hook overnight with some bait on it. The gator comes, he eats the bait, swallows the hook, and then you go get him next morning. So it's really more like trapping, but you started doing something pretty cool this year. What did y'all do?
So we had a gator that we could not catch this gator. And he kept eating our little gators. He'd pull up, he'd go the other way, and I saw him out in the bayou. So we went and ordered some big old treble hooks and put it on an 8,000 reel on a Shimano tuna rod, and we trebled him. We reeled out, stuck him, hooked him, brought him in, and he ended up being 11.6, that gator. You remember him.
How long did?
It took us 2 hours. Now, a lot of it had to do with we really didn't know what we were doing. We were learning.
Yeah,
new
thing.
We learned some new tricks after that, but it's definitely, if you want to catch big gators, it's like red fishing with a popping cork and shrimp compared to sight fishing and hunting one by one with one.
And it's more, like you said, it's almost more sporting. I think that if you continue to do that, offer gator hunts, I think you're going to find a good market for that.
Yeah, that's what we're going to go to. But that's truly hunting, and that's what I love about it. Like,
no doubt.
When we set lines and do all that, that's us doing it. That's us
trapping.
Yeah, we're finding where they're at the night before and doing all that. Customers just come shoot them and hunt them.
Right.
This is like, all right, which one do you like? Pick one out,
exactly.
Let's hook them. And we might land them, we might not land them,
Yeah. So we're in Delacroix, Louisiana today. I'm glad I'm doing my first episode in Delacroix because this is kind of where my hunting and fishing heritage begins. My family is from here. Our folks started hunting and fishing as a way to really just provide food for the family, and then they started doing it commercially. And as time went on and things got modernized, the family went into more normal, typical jobs. So this is a special place for me still. We're in Bayou Terrebuff right now, which is pretty cool. Did you know this about Bayou Terrebuff? It's named because they had buffalo. The French folks named it. Yeah, that blows my mind. When you'll see some of the marsh that we'll show y'all today. It's changed over the years, but if you could picture buffalo in here, it's just
no, I can't.
It's crazy.
I can't.
So a lot of history here. Happy to be doing episode 1 of Outside the Levees. We're gonna kick it off. We don't know if we got any gators, but hopefully we do. I think I'm gonna keep one to cook.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, these are for us. This is our hunt.
Clean one out and cook it, and gator meat's delicious. Good white meat. So, all right, let's go get them, Cap.
Let's do it. So we go on gator hunting, and we ran out here and we saw a bunch of lines down. Pulled up to the first one. It's tightened up. They actually had a boat fishing here. So we're gonna see what's on it and see what we can do. I got a feeling it's gonna be a good one. I really do. So we set up cane poles with clips on them, and we put it at an angle in the water. We go pick our spots, and ones that produce year in and year out, and ones we keep going back to, and hope that we deliver.
So you can see he's tied off to the tree here. The line goes down into the water, so we think that the gator is down on the other end of the line. We're about to pull it up. Sometimes it's a big production and it's crazy, and the alligator fights a lot, and sometimes they've already kind of worn themselves out, so we really don't know what we're about to get into, honestly, but it should be fun. You see him?
Oh yeah, we got a little baby, a little newborn. Come here, buddy. Look at it.
So we got one. It's really small. We try to use, I know Captain Randall does the same, I do it. We try to use big hooks and hang them fairly high so that, to keep the small ones off, but the water levels rose. So this little guy was probably able to get up higher than he normally would have. So we're gonna keep him anyway. It's the last day of the season. I think you're thinking about doing a taxidermy on?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little taxidermy for little Brady's room and see what we can do with it.
That's how we do it in Louisiana for your kid's room. Every kid gets a taxidermy alligator in their room in Louisiana. All right, well, we're gonna dispatch him, get him in the boat, and go check the rest of the lines.
So we got another line down, but it's back into the roseau canes. This one went back in, and thinks he's hiding from us, so we might have to go in.
So this tall grass here is called roseau cane. It's one of our real kind of hardy, strong vegetations we have all around the coast. It's really thick on the inside. So if the gator is kind of bunched up back in there, we're gonna catch hell pulling him back out, especially if he's a bigger one. There he is right there. You see him?
No, I don't see him. Look at this
We
thing.
heard him. So he's in there. We just heard him. He's mad. He's not happy at all. So this one could be a pretty good fight.
He basically made a big U-turn.
Do what?
He basically made a big U-turn.
He made a big U-turn.
He went right back where he came from, where the line was tied.
What you got to do here?
I'm gonna go ahead and cut the line loose off the pole that's tied up, and go quick as I can. He's a little gator. Go as quick as I can around, like this. I guess he realized I just released him.
You got him tied off on that pole?
No, I don't. But I got enough line.
Yeah, enough tension.
Yep.
Alligator. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot him. We got him up to the boat. What we shooting, a 22 mag?
22 mag.
Now what you like about the 22 mag better than the 22?
22 just doesn't have enough pop in it, and the mag bullet goes in and spreads in there.
Yeah.
It makes an instant kill.
Yeah, it seems like the mag puts him down a little bit better. So we're gonna do that real quick and get him in the boat.
Take the rope. Time him.
So why do you do that?
Safety precaution so that we don't, for some reason, one shape or another, we didn't get a kill shot. We just got a little, possible, wound. We don't he doesn't wake up and we don't find out that he's alive on a boat. Well, we can't shoot him now. We can't shoot him on a boat, When that mouth is shut, he has no power at all. So as long as he keep his mouth shut, he can't do anything. When that mouth is open and he clamps down, we have no power at all again.
So we're gonna clean and cook an alligator. This is really a great size because we're doing this in the afternoon. We want to get this done before dark. So this is really a perfect size to clean and eat. They're such a cool animal. It's like, you could just tell he's built for this place, this is insane, but we've actually got a huge blue cat on the line, not an alligator, which means the water came up enough for the catfish to get it, and he is not a small one.
Oh my God, he's big. Like that.
Holy,
That is a first.
wow.
A catfish on an alligator line. I mean, you know, like we were just talking about, the water rising. It's been coming up. Well, it came up already. That is
That's a hammer too. Wow. So we just caught an enormous blue cat on the alligator line. What a cool bonus.
I mean, how often do you see a big blue cat come up in 10 feet of water, 15 feet of water and surface feed? I mean, it's just, I still am just in awe that that's what's on that line. In awe.
I thought, even when he like broke the surface, I thought, oh, a small gator.
I thought gar, maybe an alligator gar, you know, like
Freaking
somehow.
blue cat. That speaks to the beauty of this place, man.
It does. And it's the same thing that happens with our fishing, right? You pull up on a point, you catch a sheephead, a bass, a redfish, a trout, all in the same exact spot. You throw the cork 4 times in a row.
So that's why I named the show Outside the Levees. So, you know, there's no way for us to show you right now. So, but everything we're hunting in today is outside of a major levee system. The levee is meant to protect us from a major flood that would come in from here and then go into where we live. So down here we kind of live inside the levees and we sort of play outside the levees. That's mostly where we do most of our hunting and fishing. We do have some things that we do inside the levees, but that's why I picked the name. My buddy Bob Marshall used to use that term a lot, outside the levees, when he wrote about hunting and fishing down here. You know, a lot of folks who even live in this area don't know what it's like outside the levees. And that's why I wanted to start this show, just to kind of showcase everything we have and how perfect to display the diversity with an alligator and catfish trip. So it looks like we got another line down, huh?
No, it's not down.
Oh, it's not down. Okay.
All these lilies gotten away with the north wind. This side's gonna get messed up. So it looks like it's gonna be a 2 gator and a 1 catfish kind of hunt, which is, you know, a first ever for us. And that's how we're gonna kind of end the season.
I'm gonna get these alligators cleaned up, and I'm thinking po' boy. I'm thinking fried alligator po' boy, but now the catfish kind of threw a wrench into it, and I'm like, okay, how can
I go to fried catfish and
or blackened catfish with fried alligator? So
you got to come with something.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go pick this line up and get on home. All right, so I think I finally got something I want to cook with the alligator and the catfish. It's not often you catch an alligator and a catfish on the same hunt, so I had to think deep and kind of come up with something that I wanted to do to combine both for a meal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a alligator sauce piquant and a fried catfish po' boy. Very New Orleans, South Louisiana, tying the Cajun sauce piquant together with the New Orleans style po' boy. All right, so I'm gonna just cook the alligator down in a pressure cooker. Just need to chunk up the alligator just enough. It's gonna cook down really well in that pressure cooker. I like to use a pressure cooker a lot. The reason for that is it's fast. It takes, you know, the same type of meal that you would cook in a Dutch oven or a cast iron or even a crock pot. The pressure cooker can do it in a short amount of time. I mean, just look how pretty that alligator meat is though. You know, people always ask, oh, is it like chicken like they say? And that does look like a chicken breast, but I feel like texture and taste and flavor, the closest thing that I can find is frog legs. All right, that should be enough alligator for what we're trying to do. So I've already heated the pot up, put a little bit of oil in the bottom, and we're gonna go ahead and sear it off. Salt, granulated garlic, Cajun seasoning. We're gonna add a couple bay leaves. We're gonna add some onion, bell pepper, and celery. I bought mine pre-chopped. I like to do things simple, so if there's something at the store that's already prepped and ready for me to do it, I'm gonna do it. The reason I do that is I have young children. In the evenings, we gotta cook things fast, get it ready fast, they're ready to eat, we gotta do bath time, so I try to cheat a little bit and get things that are already prepped. So we're just gonna brown that off real good. Get that going. Add a little bit of parsley. Crank up the heat just a little bit, keep it moving. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some tomato sauce. Add about a half. Stir it up, see what you got. Okay. We'll add the whole can of the diced tomatoes. The last thing I'm gonna add is some shrimp stock. Anytime I go to cook shrimp, I peel it, put the shells aside, and then I use the shells to make a shrimp stock. I freeze it for later. For any type of dish like this where you need to use a stock, shrimp stock is super tasty, good for anything seafood based, like a seafood gumbo. Here, this alligator sauce piquant. So we're gonna add some shrimp stock. Now with the pressure cooker, you do need to make sure you have enough liquid for what you're cooking. You don't want to have it dry out and the pressure build up in there without enough liquid. Now it's just a matter of letting the heat do its thing before we put the lid on. All right, I can see it start to bubble up in that pot, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my lid on. Really super simple. These things might seem intimidating, but they're not. And it's gonna build up some pressure in there. All right, now while that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and do the fried catfish po' boy. All right. Yep, see, nice, thin. That's gonna fry up fast and be very, very tasty. Very good. Hammer it down just a little bit. Yep. Look at that. All right, so now I'm going to coat my catfish fillets in some mustard. It is messy, there's no getting around it. I use Louisiana fish fry. It's a cornmeal based fish fry. Everyone who eats my fried fish loves it, so I'm not changing anything. This is what I like. Drop that into the fryer. I like to fry at the highest setting, which is 375. I find it does the best, gets it done the fastest, and keeps it crispy. So that's what I'm rolling with. And we'll drop those. Okay. Ooh, that sauce piquant is smelling good. All right, first batch of fish is done. I'll let that cool off. Let's go ahead and add our other pieces. Look at that, it looks like a big old chicken breast. Oh, that old big catfish didn't know what he had coming. Just trying to get him a free little meal on the alligator line, and he ended up in my fryer. Poor fella. All right, so now you see him doing his little shaky shake. That's when I like to turn it down to a medium low. You don't want it to do like that the entire time. It should just be, you know, kind of a slow and steady rollout. Just a little shimmy, like my man Sheldon Rankins, New Orleans Saints defensive lineman. So once I got it going like that, I'll probably put on the timer for 25 minutes and it'll be ready. So you take a recipe that would normally be 3 hours, 4 hours in a Dutch oven. We're getting it done in, 25 minutes once it's rolling. That's why I love cooking like this, because, like I said, you got kids, you trying to get everything done in a hurry in the evening. There's no way you got 3 to 4 hours on a weekday to cook a meal like this. But with a pressure cooker, an Instant Pot, it's the same quality of that slow and low cook in a shorter amount of time. All right, my timer's off, so I'm gonna take it off the heat. I want to be very careful. All right, with the pressure cooker pot, you don't want to just take the lid off right away. You got to relieve the pressure that's inside. So what I do is I take my spoon, I just want to back up a little bit, it comes in hot, and just kind of tip the cap up. And let all that pressure come on out. You want to do a little like fog machine, do some fog machine shots while this is going on, coming out of the fog. All right, pressure's relieved, and the pressure's relieved. If you can see here, there's that tab that normally comes up for pressure is now back down, so it's safe to remove the lid. Okay. Okay, now what I like to do is get in there and see what I got. I like to just, your meat's nice and tender and ready to break up. So I like to use the spoon to just kind of break it up a little bit. I mean, look at that. So traditionally you would serve this over rice. Since we're doing a po' boy, I'm gonna go ahead and skip out on the rice. I don't want to overdo it on the carbs. Not that I'm counting carbs, but I know that adds up to a lot. And honestly, we got enough meat in there that you really don't need the rice. So scoop some out. So basically the idea behind this meal, kind of like a soup and sandwich, you know? All right, so we got these beautiful fish fillets here. And we want to place this on our po' boy bread. Now the key ingredient to a po' boy is the French bread. And if you can't find it in your area, you may want to look around for a baker who does French bread. Because that's really what makes the po' boy a po' boy, is the style of bread that you use. Feel free to put whatever you want on at this point, but this is kind of the traditional way that we would do it. Do the mayo. Okay, and some hot sauce. It's okay if you get some on the table. All right, then on top of our fish, we're gonna get some Cajun seasoning. Lettuce. It's gonna fall off. You're fine, don't worry. Po' boys are supposed to be a little bit messy. Some tomato. And some pickles. So if you come to the New Orleans area for the first time and you go to a po' boy shop and they ask you if you want your po' boy dressed, this is what they're talking about. Lettuce, tomato, and pickle. And you say dressed all the way, and that's how you're gonna get it. All right, here's our delicious fried catfish po' boy and alligator sauce piquant. Man, can you imagine this on like a nice cool day? Good hearty alligator. Boy, that shrimp stock. I would not have wanted to do that without the shrimp stock. Outside the levee style. Oh my goodness. There's bread and butter pickles on there. So that's episode 1 of Outside the Levees. This is a project I've been wanting to do for a while. Thank you for checking it out, and please subscribe and follow along.